a September 2024 post. Hello friends, I'm new to the group. I wanted to come on and share my near-death experience from 2022. Before I start, I'll preface it with a few things. I'm not religious. I refuse to embellish my experience or try to fill in any blanks that I'm not totally sure happened. And last, I work in journalism. I mention that because I do my best to be very fact-based, at least to the best of my ability. So mine happened in February 2022. I don't remember the weeks leading up to all of it. So the beginning of this is going to be based on what my wife and coworkers told me. In late February, I went to work in our newsroom line I always do. It was somebody's last day. I had photos I took on my phone of it, and everything seemed normal. I told my boss I was going to the gas station real quick to get something to drink. My wife said I called her while I was there and said I didn't feel well, and it felt like there was cotton in my ears. She told me to call my doctor, so I must have done that. I went back to my work and told my boss the doctor wanted me to go to the ER. So I drove home, packed a backpack, and went. Around 5 the following morning, my wife got a call from the hospital saying I stopped breathing. I later found out a group of nurses happened to be passing by my room and saw me foaming at the mouth and not breathing. They did CPR and I went into ICU. While there, I fully coded out a total of 8 times. Due to the stress my body was under, I had a heart attack, stroke, and my kidneys fully stopped working. I was in a coma for 2 weeks. I was in septic shock. So my experience. During all of that, I had 3 very clear and separate memories. One of the things, I was walking through a calm field, like it was full of knee-high grass. I remember the sky was perfectly blue, and it just felt calming. Nobody was there. There wasn't a light to walk to, just me in a field. Second, I have a super spotty memory of my above my hospital bed looking down. I specifically remember I was above my head and behind me, meaning when I looked at myself, my feet were facing away. It didn't feel like I was floating, but more like I was stuck in that place. Third, and this one still gets me, I had a memory of living a section of a different life. I say section because it wasn't like I experienced a whole lifetime. So, in real life, I'm married and have a son. He was 6 at the time. In this different version, I was married to someone else and had 2 kids. It felt like it was the 1940s or 1950s. Like there were cars and lights and stuff, but it wasn't recent. No cell phones or anything like that. I remember sitting at the table for dinner with my family, like the classic way of doing it, with food in the middle of the table that people would grab. I don't remember what my wife and kids looked like, or anything specific we talked about. But I remember loving them, like you would your family. I remember driving to work at a grocery store where I was a meat butcher, in the deli. And that's all I remember from that. When I woke up from my coma, the first thing I saw was my wife sitting in a chair next to my hospital bed. The first thing I said was my 6-year-old son's name. In that moment, I remember not knowing if the world I woke up to was my real life or the one I left behind was. I was in the hospital for another month and a half or so after I woke up.